Good day, this is Dimitri Lascaris coming to you from Tehran, Iran for Reason to Resist on May 3rd, 2025. I'm currently in the northern part of Tehran in a large and gorgeously beautiful park called Milad. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a few kilometers from the hotel where I am staying in the northern part of Tehran. I've come here to share with you my thoughts about what I have seen and experienced here thus far since arriving late last night at the Khomeini airport in Tehran from Athens through Istanbul. Upon arriving at the airport, I and others from the alternative media who were on that flight were greeted by the organizers of the Sobh Media Festival. This is the first time I have been invited to this festival and have participated in the festival. Its purpose is to showcase and honor, as I understand, the mission of the organizers, the work of people in the alternative media around the world, particularly those who focus upon international relations and geopolitics. And already, in the short time that I've been here, I've met alternative media figures, respected and widely followed alternative media figures from all over the world. Some of the people, these people include Ajamu Baraka of the Black Agenda Report and the Black Alliance for Peace. I had the opportunity to interview Ajamu a few weeks ago on Reason to Resist. If you don't follow his work, I strongly recommend that you do so. He has an excellent and unique anti-imperialist analysis of Western foreign policy. Pepe Escobar is here. In fact, he was at a lunch I attended a couple hours ago. Sharmeen Narwani, whom I interviewed, she's from The Cradle. I interviewed her on Reason to Resist a couple of months ago about the genocidal war on Lebanon, launched by the Israeli regime. Also, I understand Max Blumenthal will be here, although I haven't seen him yet. I interviewed him as well a few months ago on Reason to Resist. George Galloway was walking around the lobby of my hotel all day. Haven't had an opportunity to meet him, but he's here as well. And numerous other figures. Alistair Crook, somebody who appears frequently on Judging Freedom, I understand, will be participating in this event as well. And I hope, there's a lot of other people whose names deserve mention, but I just can't remember all the names as I'm walking through this park. I was invited to submit by the organizers a couple of reports from Reason to Resist for consideration by the jury. I did that, and I don't know yet what the outcome of that is, but that frankly, as much as I appreciate the opportunity to have my work assessed by a jury of my peers, that was not even close to the main reason why I came to Iran. I accepted their generous invitation to participate in the festival. The main reason, overwhelmingly, that I came here is because this is a very important time in the history of Iran and of the broader region, because of the genocide in Palestine, because of the relentless and brutal assaults by the Trump and Netanyahu regimes on Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, and of course, most importantly for the Iranian people, the threat of all-out war being leveled against Iran by the Trump and Netanyahu regimes. I'd never been here before, and I wanted to come and see how the country and its people are coping with these threats. What is the mood in the country? And just also to get a sense of whether the narrative that I have heard my entire life from the so-called mainstream media in the West about Iran is accurate. And I'm going to say a few words about that in a minute, offer you some preliminary observations based on what I've seen and heard in my short time here. But before I do that, the other thing I'm going to be doing while I'm here is the organizers invited me to deliver a speech at one of the universities here in Tehran. They simply asked that I address a subject of international relations, and I chose, with no prompting from them, to talk about Trump's purported claims that he is a peacemaker. And so I'm going to be giving a speech to university students later this week about that subject. And I'll also be participating in a panel with some fellow journalistic comrades from the Arab world during my time here. Now, before I share with you my preliminary observations, let me just say, it hardly needs to be said, but I don't want to be taken to be, presenting myself as any kind of an authority on Iran, because obviously I'm not. I've never been here before. I've never pursued studies in Iranian history. I don't speak Farsi. Literally, what I'm about to present to you are nothing but the most preliminary of impressions and observations, which could be totally non-representative of life in Iran, especially if you go to other parts of the country, out in the country, let's say, or to villages or small cities. This is the capital, and what I've seen in my short time here could very well be unusual by the standards of Iranian society. So this is not in any way, shape, or form a study of Iranian society. It's just initial impressions, and I think that they are nonetheless useful and informative, and they're frankly my initial impressions based on what I've read all these years in the Western media. Overall, I can summarize them with one word, and that is surprise. So let me tell you about why I'm surprised by what I've seen in the little time that I've spent here, in no particular order. First of all, there are quite a few women walking in the streets who are not wearing a hijab. My guess is, I haven't been keeping count, that a majority of the women I've seen in public, and there are many women out in public in the streets of Tehran. In fact, the streets of Tehran are bustling. There's no indication that the country is on the precipice of war. Hard to see that the country is being crushed by sanctions, although I'm sure that the sanctions have caused a lot of suffering here. I have no doubt about that. But on the whole, it seems to be a normal functioning society. As I say, many of the women walking the streets here do not cover their heads. And I have not yet seen, although I've seen hundreds of women in public, a single woman wearing a burqa covered from head to toe in black clothing. And nor have I seen a single instance where two or more women were walking in single file behind a man. Last year I was in Qatar, which is allied with the West. In fact, Qatar is the home to the largest U.S. military base in all of West Asia. And I saw repeatedly when I was walking around the streets of Doha, women covered from head to toe in the burqa, walking, sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes four women walking in single file behind a man, an adult male. Haven't seen any of that so far here. Something else which surprises me, especially when you consider the security situation, the threats against the country, the exchange of attacks between Iran and the genocidal Israeli entity over the past 18 months. I haven't seen any armed military personnel. And in fact, up until 15 minutes ago, I had not seen any uniformed military personnel, whether armed or unarmed, anywhere, including at the airport. Now, you go to any major European airport nowadays, it is customary to see armed military personnel carrying automatic weapons. I see this, in Athens regularly, or at the airport in Latanika in Cyprus. I did not see a single uniformed soldier at the airport in Tehran, the Khomeini airport. As I said, up until 15 minutes ago, I had not seen a uniformed soldier anywhere in the city. I did see uniformed soldiers about 15 minutes ago. There were three of them sitting down on the grass here in this beautiful park on a blanket, and they were reading. And I didn't see any weapons on any of these soldiers. I also have not seen so far, this is really something, despite all the time I spent out in public today, I've not seen yet a single uniformed police officer. Not one. There may be, soldiers and police officers walking around, plenty of them in civilian clothing. I'm in no position to comment on that, but I haven't seen a single uniformed police officer. I saw one police cruiser parked with a whole bunch of other vehicles in the parking lot of my hotel. There were no police officers in it, and that's it. kind of surprising given what we hear about the country of Iran, and particularly at this precarious moment in its history. In fact, you may be able to see them there. Here are these soldiers I mentioned who are sitting on the grass, smoking or reading. Now, the other thing I want to touch upon, which I might have already mentioned, again, this is not obvious to me that this is a country that is being crushed by economic sanctions. I've been to countries that are being devastated by Western sanctions, for example, Venezuela, Cuba, Syria. And what I'm seeing here is actually much more normal than one would have anticipated, given the level of economic warfare that has been waged against the country. So the shops are full, plenty of cars operating in the streets, many different types of vehicles. The number of motorcycles in the streets of Tehran it's truly impressive. In fact, it's a very smoggy city because there's so much vehicular traffic, regrettably. But people are dining in the restaurants. I'm sure, as I probably already mentioned, that their society is suffering significant hardship because of these sanctions. But based on what I can see in my short time here, Iran is doing a considerably better job of coping with the sanctions than those other countries I mentioned. And that's not to be critical of those countries. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Iran has a much larger and more diverse economy than the economies of Cuba, Venezuela, and Syria. In any event, those are my initial observations. If I learn more, if I see things that are inconsistent with what I've had to offer you thus far, I'll certainly share those observations with you. In the interim, if those members of my audience who are listening to this report and who know the country far better than I do, especially people who are Iranian, have any suggestions for what I should see and do while I'm in Tehran in the following week, what I should report upon, what I should experience, please feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments section for this video. And if you're not already a subscriber to Reason to Resist, please consider becoming a subscriber. As I've mentioned in prior programs, in little more than a year that we have been operating this channel, Reason to Resist, we have grown to almost 70,000 subscribers, and our goal is to have well in excess of 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you found this video to be informative, please like it, please share it, and stay safe and healthy. And I look forward to reporting to you again in a couple of days' time from Tehran in Iran. For now, I'm signing off for Reason to Resist on May 3rd, 2024.